So we're back at the house where we're doing the bathroom ensuite renovation. The one where the issue with the press fit's been in, it's fine now. We had a bit of an issue with one of them pipes blowing off because I hadn't pressed one of the fittings. So if you want to go and see that, you want to see me panicking, hit the link up in the corner. Right, what we've got to do today, we're going to sight the valve. Now hopefully we can put the valve inside this wall here. I've sort of checked a little bit, we've got a little bit of a gap, but I'm going to cut out here, expose what we need to, because we've got to bring the hot and colds up anyway for the valve, and then we're going to take the rainfall that way and the body one that way and put it on the end of the shower there. As long as this valve is going to fit, we're going to come off here again with moisture board. The customer's doing all that side of it, I'm just here to do the first fix. So first off, let's get this cut out, exposed, and see if we've got the depth to get this mixer shower valve in. Right, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is doing well. This video is the second part of the bathroom ensuite renovation that I've been doing, and I'm sort of treating it as a bit of a hospital job, dropping in and out, because the customer's doing the walls, he's doing the tiling, he's doing the flooring. So after the last time he was there, when we had the issue with the press fit, or my issue, not with the press fit, my issue with me, basically, we've got back there. We come across a little bit of a problem with the concealed valve, which if you've ever fitted them, you'll know exactly the things you need to do around them when you come to fit them. So we've got an issue with that. Also, I connect the heating side of it onto a live system as such. So if you're watching it and you think you can have a go at doing what I do at the end of the video, connecting to the heating system, it's not something a DIY should do. It's something that I dare say a lot of plumbers, heating engineers have done before, but it's a calculated thing to do. You look at it's the way of putting it, you look at the things surrounding it, i.e. this was on a first floor. I knew there was going to be next to no pressure in it, and it was on a 10 mil pipe. So you'll see when you watch it the thought process behind it. But as always, drop me a comment on it, let me know what you think. Also, we've had a load of new subscribers off the back of me doing a bit of a beg for it on the last video. We're nearly at 30,000. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're really pushing towards 30,000 now for the rest of the year. It'd be mega to hit it really early. And it just helps YouTube push my content so more people get to see it. So let's get on with the video. I hope everyone's well, and I shall catch you on the next one. Right, we just hit a little bit of a hurdle with this ensuite. There's always something with the bathroom, isn't there? Always something, but it's nothing that can't be sorted out. So let me talk you through it. These walls, if you've ever come across them, we call them egg box walls. They're just literally made like that. Single skin here, eggshells, cardboard in the middle. Now, what we was hoping to do was to sight that valve internally in here. Let me just grab it and show you. We was looking at sighting that in there. Obviously now we can't screw that valve to that back wall because there's nothing behind it. We can't pack it out, because if we was to pack that out to screw it on, or even if we was to sight it there, we need 80 mil from the back edge of that wall to this point, if you're looking like where my finger is there. Now, if we built this wall off to do that, we're going to lose 80 mil. On this upstand here, it's going to shift it literally across where the window frame is. So it's a no-go, but they really wanted that concealed remote valve to sit over this side of the shower when they're using this side. So what we're going to do is, they're going to have niches inside here. We're going to mount the valve in this cupboard here, so it's going to be surface here, and then a ledge there, then they can do their showers and niches above that. That means we can mount it there, we can run the pipes through the eggshell, through this way, round here for the body one, up there for the rainfall. So that is the way we're going to do this. A bit of a pain because the customer's doing the work himself, so he's going to get this studded out, get it boarded out. You know, I haven't put in to do it, I haven't got time to do it, so he's going to concentrate on that. It just means we've got to drop off the job. We'll drop back on next week, hopefully, get this done, get the pipe work round. We've also got the towel rail, they've brought up the feeds in it. Yeah, not a fan of that size, but it is what it is. We've got to deal with what they've got. Towel rail is going to go on here, and then we can get the floor in or the customer can get the floor, we can get the tray in, then they can begin getting it tiled and work from there. So yeah, there's always something with the bathroom, but at least we've got a solution to it. What I'm going to do is mark it up so they know exactly where that backboard's going to go on here, and then we'll be back on this one at some point next week. So we're back on this bathroom renovation. As I said in the last part of the video, the customer had to alter part of this wall just to get the valve where we want it to go, because we haven't got the depth in that wall, and this was the only real decent option that we've got with this valve. So I've made the fittings into the valve, made the main lines into the valve, got my laser level out, worked out exactly where the centre of the valve's got to go compared to the 700 shower. So we're 350 into the centre, and in fact I've just knocked the level off. So let's move that back onto its line. I have already marked it up, to be honest. What we're going to do then is offer the valve where that laser level is, where that green line is the centre of where the valve's got to go. So we're going to line it up. If you can just make it out on that valve at the bottom, and then on the wheel head just here, just there. Tricky to do one-handed, but anyway, we'll get it leveled up and get it fixed to the wall there. Then we can begin bringing the hot and colds. They're originally coming out here because the valve was going to go there. We just have to move them across, bring them up there, and then we've got to take the feeds over for the rainfall and the body one bit. But what we're going to do with that is drop it back down, because we've got a niche here, drop it back down under the floor, up, chop it into the wall slightly so we've got more room for the 1600 tray that's going to go into here. So first off, let's get this fixed to the wall so we've got a bit of a start point. So that's the valve now mounted into place there. We've worked out the depth of it. I did that prior last week before Phil's mate came and put the stud work up. With that mounted now, we're going to start running the pipe work over. We've got our hot and colds here, so I'm going to bring these through, drill 2 holes through there. We're going to bring them up, connect to hot on the left, cold on the right. That's not a problem. Other side, we're obviously going to go over there for the rainfall and for the body one bit. So what I'm going to do is run them down to this point here and then through the joist low level. So I'm going to run it across in plastic over to that point there in the corner, then come up, chase into the wall slightly, come up for the bottom one, and then obviously chase up for the top one. But to get them through under the floor is going to be a pain to get copper in. So from that point there over to there, plastic, I think, is the only solution to getting that across there. You know, sometimes when you look at a job and you're like, I just can't work out how I'm going to get that across there, because, you know, one of the reasons for this is the tray that's going in, the outlet, the waste is going to be here. So we've got to trim part of that joist out anyway. Otherwise, I could probably have come across there, but we're governed by how that's going to be. Plus, we need to get the 1.5 inches into the saw stack as well. So, yeah, that's the way I'm going to do that. So I've got the first pipe in here. Going to run another one in there for the other side, and then get them connected in, tightened in, and then we can run the hot and colds through to this point there, then drain the water down and connect onto the hot and colds under the floor. But today is red hot again. Thank God I've got this. Right, we're making a little bit of headway with this valve now. I've got the 2 feeds for the rainfall and for the body wand in place here now. Done the hot pipe, I've got the cold pipe here. Now, I've just tried to do it in one bend just to save a little bit of hassle, and I think I've got it. And we can just get that into the valve and get that connected in and tightened up. Had to press that out of position because I wasn't going to get it with that pipe being there. While I'm here on this subject of doing this valve with these compression fittings, there's a lot of people that say you should never put compression fittings in walls. How are you going to do a valve like this that needs compression fittings without putting compression fittings in walls? It's a concealed valve. Compression fittings are, I personally think, absolutely fine in walls as long as you make sure they're all right, test them, all that sort of stuff, you're all good. So there's not a problem running it like that. I don't see any other way you can do it, to be honest. So a lot of people who comment about stuff like that, you know, what you meant to do. You tell me what you meant to do instead of that. That's that valve done now. What I've had to do on this, because obviously this is your temperature and these are your on and off buttons for what will be the rainfall and the body one bit. I don't know if that's off or that's off or that's off or that's off. I can't tell. So where we're coming out of here, I'll put 2 caps on there. So they're the outlets. Put 2 caps on them. So at least when we turn the water on, I'm not running the risk of water coming out of there. and then I can turn them off, pop the cap off and work out what's what, if that makes sense. So we've got that in position there. What we've got to do now is come across with the hot and colds and connect into our existing hot and colds that we put in with that joint that was an absolute pain. So this is where my little flexible bucket comes in. Loads of people ask about that. I think it's 12 quid, 10 quid or 12 quid off Amazon. Just put in 12 litre folding bucket and that'll come up, but it's perfect for popping underneath there because it just collapses down. People always say, oh, you can use a bag or a black bag or a bin bag or whatever, but I just think that looks a bit crap inside someone's house, you rocking around with a carrier bag full of water. So it's a bit tricky to do one-handed. There we go. So what we can do now is pop these caps off like so. There we go, a little bit of water in on. As always, we've got it marked up, get connected up, get the water on and see what's on and what's off on that valve. Plus, by capping that off there, we can test that valve so we know it's all good before the boarding goes on and before the tiling goes on. So we've got it all piped up now. I'm going to go downstairs, turn the water on and make sure the valve's nice and watertight, and obviously, as I said, we've got the caps there to make sure that these are off. Look, there's just no, I think that's on, I think that's off, just because it looks like it comes out a little bit more, but I can't be sure. So let's go and turn the water on and make sure this is all alright. Sorted, water's on, so we've got water up to the valve now. I've just checked all the fittings around it, we're all good. I'm going to pop a little orange tub underneath and get it out. Yeah, I'm going to empty that water out of it, then pop it underneath here and work out what's on and what's off. So we've got the tub underneath there. I don't know, you know, sometimes you can feel the sort of, I think that's on. So let's turn that off. Yeah, some pressure in that. So we know that is off. I think that one's on as well. Let's turn that. Yeah, let's say it again. I think no. I think that's off. Oh, oh no. Yeah. Jesus, there's some pressure in there. I've even just cut my thumb trying to keep. I've even just sliced my thumb trying to take the pressure off of that. So if we just quickly, just to pull a bit of water through, turn this, push this button on, we should get some water through there. It's going to bollock through quite a lot, I think. There we go. Yeah, that's hot. And then the same with the other one. At least we know we're all alright, we know we're watertight there. So I can pop the two caps back on there and then we know that valve is all good. I'm going to leave the buttons alone because we know it's been pressurised, so we know that is all good. Plus I don't know, there's no way of telling when it's on or when it's off. Look, my thumb is absolutely lashing out blood now. So let's get a plaster on that, aka some electrical tape. Right, I've just been through with the customer exactly where they want the riser and the hand one, body one bit. So obviously this is the centre of the tray. We're going to put the rainfall at the top there. I always put the hand one just slightly off. So we're going to go half and half of the wall and the centre of the tray. So we're going to put it about here. So what we've got to do now, just because we're really tight on room between this stud wall here and this wall here, we're going to chop in ever so slightly into the wall, just so when they dab this board on, the pipe's not going to be in the way of it. So we're going to channel a little bit down here and then obviously channel that one, and then we can get the pipework in and get all that set into position. So we've just chopped out into this blockwork the depth that I think we're going to have to go to keep it all pretty flush. So we're going to put that wall plate bracket on there, wall plate elbow on there, which is what I use to do the rainfall showers, because it just screws straight into there, and because you can screw it back to the wall, keeps it nice and solid. So what we'll do now is carry on drilling down here. Got my safety goggles on because I know so many people say you only get one pair of eyes, which is completely true, and 9 times out of 10 I forget to put them on. But I've got them on now. We're going to carry on chasing all the way down here, and then we can do the second one. It's going to get proper dusty, so I'll crack on with this and I'll see you when it's done. Right, it's never a fun job chasing pipework into walls. So we've got the main one running down now. Just got to trim a little bit out the bottom, but first of all I'm going to get the secondary one in here, just bring it down, and then we can concentrate exposing the bottom bit there, and then we can look about how we're going to run the pipes across there. Haven't got any plastic on the van, so I've got to pick some up from the lockup on my way home tonight. Right, there we go. That is both of those now channeled out into the wall, right up to the top for that one, midway for that one, and then we're going to come off there under the floor, connect onto there, and then that is the first fixing for the shower. Then we can leave it for the walls to go in, floor to go in. Then we need to set the tray in position, and then we can carry on getting it tiled. But yeah, I'm absolutely covered in crap now. So I'm gonna have a tidy up, have a clear up, and head home for a shower. So then fast forward about 24 hours and I've had a wash, I'm loads cleaner. We can begin getting these pipes now in to feed the riser and the rainfall and the body shower bit in here. So what we're going to do, these are the 2 feeds coming from the shower. We've got the tray going in here, and that's where the trap's going to go. We're going to have to get the waste across here, so we're going to have to come through this joist here at some point and into our outlet on the 4-inch here. So as long as I stay away from this sort of area, but we've got to get the pipe work over there. So what I'm going to do is drill through these joists low level, get them across to here, and then we can work out exactly how we're going to get it up and out to feed those outlets. So first off, let's get some holes drilled through into, well, obviously we're going to have to come underneath there, so we're going to have to go quite low level through the bottom of these joists. But yeah, not a problem at all. Let's get them across. So we've got the holes drilled through here now. As I said, I'm going to run plastic through these joists because we're not going to be able to get any copper through here. Plastic's the easiest and best way to go through there. So we'll put it through there, and then we'll get it into this area here. So I've brought the pipe work now over to this point here and got the copper pipe ready to go in. I'll put duct tape on the pipe work just to stop any sort of corrosion going on. But that's going to sit in there, and then we're just going to come up off that plastic onto that copper pipe and then get it screwed back, nailed back, get some wrap over nails I've got here somewhere, get some wrap over nails, make sure it's secure in the wall, and then do exactly the same for the rainfall outlet at the top. So we've got the lower one in now. We're just about to start getting the rainfall one in. Now what is key with these is, you see the arc here on the end of the arm that sticks out, that has got to be able to turn without catching the ceiling. Now I'll admit, I've done it before where we've come to put that in and I've fitted it too high and we had to cut a slot out the ceiling to get it in. So it's one of them things, whenever you've done something wrong or messed something up, you seem to never ever do it again. So always be conscious where that goes in, because if it doesn't spin round, you're going to be in trouble. So we're going to mount this one about there. So we're going to do the same as what we've done on that one, on this one. Get it taped up, duct tape, get the wall plate on there and get it into position and connect it down onto that pipe. Right, there we go. Both the pipes are now in, sorted, connected up to the valve. We know, well, the water's been onto the valve since a couple of days ago, and we also, when we turned it on, obviously it pressurised these 2 outlets anyway. But what I'm going to do is, I've put a cap on the rainfall one. I'm going to pop a cap on this one. Just put some Loctite thread tape on it, just to make sure it's all right. I just want to get these tested basically, just to make sure everything under the floor is fine. So what we'll do is, we know that these are off at the minute, so if I press that button, it's going to fill, no it's not, that one's going to fill that pipe work under the floor, and that one is going to do the riser. So Which one did I say? Let's open that one up. You can hear it cracking and creaking. So that's that one, pressurised up to there. Let's do the other side. Perfect, there we go. So we now know that those two outlets are fine. All the pipework underneath where the shower is going to go is fine. So let's turn them off. So they're off. I'm just trying to work out what's what with them. They're off. We can now leave this. What Phil, the customer's going to do with, I think it's his brother-in-law, is get the moisture boards on the walls, get it boarded, also get the floor in, but leave this area loose because we've got to come off the stack and obviously in for the trap on the shower. So that's ready for them to do. What we've got to do now though is, they've brought these up to this point here. We're going to go off these, off 10 mil, reduce up to 15 mil, and then come out exactly where the towel rail is going to go. Towel rail's in the room out there, so we'll work out exactly where the tails are going to poke out, get them out, and then they can carry on, as I say, boarding along here. Right, we've moved on now to the towel rail. We've got it here. It's one of these decorative ones where the two valves are going to go there, obviously, at the bottom. So the towel rail is going to sit roughly around the hair. Measured that, 4-inch centres, so I've marked on the timber here the 4-inch centres, got it level. So what we're going to do is get these two pipes coming out here, it's chrome pipes. Now, I always put these on compression elbows. Again, it goes back to what I said about the valve. People say you shouldn't put compression into walls. Honestly, I've never had an issue with it. 27 years or whatever it is, never had an issue with compression in walls. As long as you do it right, it's not a problem. At the end of the day, they make valves with compression fittings on that sit in walls, so it is what it is. Use compression on that because we're going to chrome. People will say again, you can take the chrome off it, blah, blah, blah. This is how I do it. You can do it whichever way you want. So we're going to mount them there, and then obviously we've reduced down with the speed fit. We're going to, it's on a combi system, it's on a pressurised system. So what I'm going to do is basically just pop the caps off there into my bucket, take the pressure off the system, and then connect into the two ends of the reducers there. So we'll get that done, and then we'll get a couple of clips with some spacer blocks on, and then they'll sit perfectly there. And then they can get the wall on and crack on with that. So let's get the caps off here and get them connected. Like I just said, it's on a combi system, it's on a pressurised system, so it's going to let a bit of water out for a little while, and then it's going to drop off because we're upstairs. There's a few rads on it, but all we've got to do is cut them then, take the pressure off it, cut them there where we want them. We've got a little bit of movement in them, up and down, so we can pop them in. We've got the inserts somewhere, if I can find them. We have them ready. There we are. We've got our two 10 mil inserts to go in. So let's start by just popping the cap off this one. Heating water will just come out and it will drop off as the pressure drops out of it. And we'll do the same with this and get them connected onto the bottom of the reducers. There we go, sorted. So we'll just cut that. I say we've got the movement in it. We'll cut that like so. Pop out, insert in, and chopped up. Simple as that. Do the same for the other one. Plenty of movement on it. Cut it here. Insert in, and easy as that. All we've got to do now is tuck that in. We get some spacers on there, get them exactly where we want them. That's sorted. So we've repressurised the boiler, the heating pipes are fine, everything else is in, ready now for the customer to get it boarded. Then we can come back and fit the tray, and then they can carry on tiling it. I think they're going to half height tile it. obviously tile all the area in the shower. Right, we're making a little bit of headway on this bathroom. If you enjoyed it, as always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop me a comment, let me know what you think to various things on this, such as compression in walls, connecting onto chrome, and anything else that you might want to drop me a comment on. I'll catch you on the next one.